Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and the boys are in town, baby. Who needs women when you've got the three most handsome lads, the handsome jocks? The boys are here to talk about Australian Survivor on a Friday night. What could go wrong? Unfortunately, Michelle is away for this one. She's actually watching the Harry and Jackson wrestling match that's happening tonight. Hopefully all that goes really, really well. But let's introduce all the handsome geezers that we have on with us tonight. Starting off with the most handsomest man I know. You know, he is my brother all the way in South Africa. Everyone, please welcome the real cash flow rich. Everyone is the great Richard. How's it going, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Happy to be part of the Mucky Hope Man Cave Friday podcast special, Crackalaking Naughty Friday. I don't know.
Naughty Jiggy Fridays, man. Yeah, and let's hope your Wi-Fi works this time. I was devastated. We've got Useless, we've got Brendan. It's going to be great, and then your Wi-Fi shits out.
Yeah, that's why they call it the Alliance.
The Alliance. There's no you know, it's just And joining us as well, you know, I feel like it would have been rude not to ask this man to join, because he's joined every single podcast with us, not talking about twists, but we finally have a twist to talk about. Everyone, please welcome us, our favorite AI content creator, our favorite twist maker himself, the man who literally created all the thumbnails you've seen across the season. Everyone, please welcome, it's our favorite Survivor twist, Mr. GP. How's it going, brother?
Woo-hoo. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm actually so excited to talk about this season. You sit there and it's a blast to watch. All the reactions of the fans are almost all positive. Now there's twists on this redemption season. We've been waiting for a redemption twist, right? So huge impact. I'm ready.
And it's a boys' night now. Where's the shirtless volleyball top going? All right, everyone, take off your shirts. We're doing skins for this one. Going to say Top Gun is one of my favorite movies of all time as well, Gabe. It's like up there. It's not number one, but it's probably like number 2 or 3, you know? So, yeah, I love that reference. Thanks so much, Mr. Gabe. But I'm loving that you're here as well to add into the boys' night that we have tonight, Gabe. But as you also say, it's here, turned out to be a great week of episodes. Richard, is this potentially one of the greatest weeks in Australian Survivor history for a pre-merge?
Oh, it's been so fun. Everything concerned, the challenges, the twists, who goes home, how they react when they find advantages. Like, it's been such a good week.
Yeah. Now, honestly, GP, like from start to finish this week, there was never one moment where I was checking my watch going, oh, how much time?
When is this ending?
Have we got left? You know, when is this ending? Like, I was just so sucked into every single second of it. Like, did you feel the same way?
Absolutely. And I'm not just saying this because, you know, I'm hugely into the season. Like, I would absolutely say my real thoughts, and it's just an excellent season. The editors are doing a great job, but the contestants gave their all, right? The confessionals they give us, they want to make us laugh. They kind of in on the joke sometimes, like cheeky with it all. You know, I'm just, what a great vibe this season. And one of the strongest pre-merge in history. Sometimes pre-merge Australian, you're like, get to the merge. Man, I'm not ready for the merge. I don't care. We are going to get to the merge, but, you know, let's enjoy this.
Well, Richard, something that I was thinking about. So, obviously, Titans vs. Rebels, we had a 14-person merge. Most Australian Survivor seasons have a merge of 13 or 12. But I was really thinking about it. I feel like some of the best merges are actually when there's not a lot of people. Like, I think of China merge, that was with 10. And Token Sheens, it was like 10 or 9 people. And like most, 18-person seasons with 3 tribes of Swix, not Swix, of 6, 11-person merges. Like I kind of feel like the smaller the merge, the more intense it is, because it's less like, it's almost like with what the new era Survivor and what Australia vs. World was advertised like. It's shorter, it's more condensed, so you have to play a lot harder. Do you think merges should be a bit shorter so that every vote literally matters to set up your end game?
Yeah, I mean, from a production standpoint, I think the less people you have, the more stories you can sort of like get from people to see what their goals are heading into merge, who they want to target, which direction they want to go. And I think we saw a bit of that where Kelly and Faith was saying that Sally had a different direction where she wanted to the merge to go, and maybe that's what maybe decided what they were going. So yeah, it's nice to see a smaller pack and get to see what are their paths going to merge.
Yeah. And joining us as well as always, it's our boy Tears, Three Kings. Hey, welcome to the boys' night, Tears. It's us, it's you, it's Gabe. Honestly, like it's truly the boys' night. You know, no woman allowed here tonight on this live. No, I'm just kidding. But also tell that to US Thailand 8-player merge market. That's right. I often forget about Thailand. It's almost like it's one of the worst seasons ever.
And only 6 immunity challenges at the merge. That one, only 6.
Only
get that
6.
record. It's impossible.
I'm sure you probably have the buff too.
We're gonna get cancelled, guys. We gotta quickly find a female co-host quick, otherwise we're gonna get cancelled. But yeah, let's talk about this week. As Gabe says here, Usher's overconfidence did her, showed throwing challenges doesn't always work. Well, Usher, Richard, is one of these players where she's obviously a big fan of the game and she's there to play hard. You know, she was a big part in Dirty Harry going home as well. And do we think maybe she was just too set on taking out the returnees and that led to her downfall?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're coming to play for the first time, you must go for the big players. Otherwise, you might not be memorable. So I think I like her personality. She's really fun. She's out there. Yeah. She's bold. She's always laughing, making connections with people. So she's definitely one of the better players this season. But yeah, she's definitely overconfident. I mean, she had an idol and she was telling Brooke to her face that my gut is telling me that you're going home tonight. And I think in Survivor, you don't do that because it often bites you in the butt. So am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. Don't you're not going to get cancelled for saying that, Richard. Don't you worry. But GP, as Tia says here, Usher wanted every single one of the returnees gone, and something that's been a downfall for many players is when they are fixated on a target. Right? We can look at Simon's previous 2 games. Right? He was fixated on Shannon and Brands versus Braun, and he's on the bottom fighting for his life. He's fixated on George. He can't just let that go, right? Yes. And it seemed like Usher was really fixated on getting up these 2 knees. I think it blinded her to other possibilities that might have been happening. Would you agree with that take?
I would. And there's a way that Caleb does it, right? Caleb sort of targets the returnees, but in that jokey way, like, I'm going to get you, you know. Usher was more like very snaky with how she did it. And I think we have to think of, sometimes it might work to throw to get someone out, like it worked on Survivor China perfectly, but it's so risky. Could she have thrown it better so that it's total acting? Like you see people reacting, she's so throwing. So I was wondering, what was so obvious about Arsha's throwing? Because it's kind of easy to throw, right? It's so janky. You have to move to another platform. And like, don't you think, guys, you could have acted better, or did she not act good enough? What is it?
Maybe.
Sorry, after you, Richard.
I was going to say maybe she needs lessons from Brooke because she's been doing a lot of acting in that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, Brooke has been doing a bloody phenomenal job this week. But for me personally, right, I'm actually against throwing challenges. I actually am, right? I used to have the mindset, right, of, throw a challenge if we really need to. But I feel like the chances of it working out actually have gone down smaller and smaller. Like, you know, you mentioned China, which is a great example. Like, what is another time in Survivor history where throwing a challenge really benefited a player, apart from China?
It's the only one I have right now.
Yeah, it's on the spot, hey?
yeah, exactly. Like, obviously it's on the spot, but yes, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of a time when throwing a challenge. Now, it has come out in exit interviews. A big part of the reason why she was throwing challenges as well was to save Rich on the other side as well. But I feel like you've pulled in Blanche. And, you know, like, even though it sucked to lose Rich, Blanche was like the extra number filling in for Rich, right? And I feel like sometimes you just have to suffer losses in the game. But it's just, but also another thing about Usher throwing, she was always throwing at the start, you know, when they're like
Oh, you're right.
Right, and
That's
they're
when
doing
you
that and stuff like that. For me personally, I would try mix it up. So maybe once at the start, it's like, oh, sorry, slippery fingers, you know, and then you actually try, and then right at the very end, you're about to win it. Oh shit, sorry, I dropped
And
it.
your
You know?
reactions matter, right? No,
Yeah.
like come on, you have to act every moment, or it's out. If I
Yeah.
detect it a second, it's all over for me, like it was for the end.
Yeah, I'm saying. And as Gabe says here, I'm for throwing challenges at Swap. And Survivor Africa, Ethan did it. That's right, he did to save his allies after the swap. And that actually worked out for Ethan. He won the season. So
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about Simon not wanting to throw challenges and it annoying everyone? Like, Simon, come on.
yes. Well, I mean, I actually agree with Simon though, because let's not forget, Brains versus Braun, the episode he went out, Danny and Haley threw the challenge to vote him out with 2 idols in his pocket. And Heroes vs. Villains, the episode where Liz got to jump to the Heroes tribe, they actually threw the challenge to get rid of Simon, but there was obviously that sub plan to maybe blindside Haley as well. So Simon hasn't had a lot of luck when it comes to throwing challenges. And
they were asking him to throw a lot, like the tribal challenge and then the mini challenge for the fire against Mark. Can I just play my own game and build my resume as well? Like, they don't want him to have a bigger resume as well, right? I think.
Yeah, and yeah, like exactly, they threw it. So I got Simon out, and I 100% agree. It's like, do we because obviously when you look at the Baron tribe, like it's so jacked, right? They only lost the challenge because Asha was throwing it, right? And they haven't gone back to tribal since they threw the challenge, right? And the only other time they could have gone to tribal is when Simon was thinking of throwing the challenge at the end of the week, right? And so, Richard, is there a thing of just like, it's almost like with Super Sinapu in season 1, right? By the time the merge came, it was what, 10 people to 3 or something like that, right? And obviously Super Sinapu, they stuck together, they got out Connor, they got out Kate and stuff. Is there something to just win all the challenges? If you have any beef or any drama, just save it for the merge. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the game is already dangerous as is, in the sense of you can do your utmost best, whether you've done a CrossFit or you've won Olympics, and you still lose a challenge. So if you try take the game into your own hands and try force outcomes, then there are times when it could bite you. And if you do get voted out, you only have yourself to blame because you forced it. So I think just play the game. If your tribe wins all the challenges, great. If they don't, then play with the hand that you got. I mean, we saw that tribe with Stephanie Grossa, where she was the only one left. So just play the game as it is.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between throwing a challenge to get out a target you just hate and throwing a challenge so that you lose and your friend over there is protected.
Motivation.
It's all about saving Richard. Like Rob asking Lex to save Amber. That kind of stuff is so different than greediness to me. I can understand that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, as Gabe says here, if you throw a challenge just because it's dumb, there has to be incentive. Yeah, I 100% agree. But I don't. Once again, we saw with Lex, with Rob, hey, save Amber for me. Look at how great. Yeah, look at how great that turned out for not Boston Rob. Look at how great that turned out for Lex. Worked out great for Boston Rob, but pretty bad for Lex. And let's welcome Brendan to the live as well. Strengths 5 memes. Hi, Twist, Richard, Tez, esteemed viewers, the YouTube algorithm, the like and subscribe buttons, and others. Just make sure you like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Even though this is a men's only live stream tonight, the boys are back in town, so. Yeah, make sure you do like and subscribe to Mucky Productions. But
Brendan,
just before we do move on,
it's so fast, it's so funny. Good job, Brendan. I love it.
Honestly, sometimes because we chat throughout throughout the episodes and stuff, and I'll think of a meme and I'm like making it, but by the time I've like half made it, and then I check Instagram, Brendan's already bloody posted it. Like, he just makes it just like this. And I'm just an old grandpa. It takes me 20 years to make one meme. So
I can't even.
Yeah. We can't even compete with Brendan. However, I do want to talk about something, though, before we do go into the tribal council in which Usher gets eliminated in. And it's actually the reward challenge of the episode. Good on Tears. He's hustling. He's calling all the boys. He's got to call Richard to come on into the stream. So anyways, GP, we actually do have a twist to talk about with the auction, a new version of the auction we haven't seen, where it's a simple game of bluff. Similar to the carrot in the box from 8 out of 10 cars with with Jimmy Carr and stuff like that, where you have 2 items, one person looks into a box and they must bluff or try and convince you to either swap the box or to keep their own box. Did you like this new twist on the auction?
I call it, we need to find a better word than auction, because it's a brand new social twist on a challenge that can have huge repercussions, because you're standing there, right, looking at these people play as they all take their turns, and you're like, damn, Brooke is good. I never knew she was that good in front of everyone.
Exactly.
You know, the pressure of this in front of both tribes. On top of that, we need more social stuff like that in challenges on Survivor. It makes me think of early US Survivor, when they were trading objects with their little boxes, for example. So it's and you get automatic airtime on everybody. Now here's Laws and Blanche interacting. Great. Like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I like the items as well. Very funny. You know, it was a A++ for me.
Loved it.
Well, Richard, do you know what this actually reminded me of a wee bit? Of that challenge. I think it's called Touchy Subjects. You gotta answer the questions and cut the things and stuff. Because obviously with that challenge, that gives away social dynamics, who likes who's kind of gunning after who and stuff, and maybe potential alliances. This challenge showed who's a good liar and who's not. What's people's play styles and stuff. And I think this challenge really exposed Brooke on what she's willing to do in the game, which I thought was brilliant, where Brooke, she's tearing up, just like, I think it's something from home. And Sally, I believed it. I was getting sad for it. GP, were you getting sad as well, GP?
That was straight out of Dirty Harry's playbook with the fake children. Okay, like, what are you talking about? The family.
Yeah. Well, I just think back to one of the best moments, I think, in an auction in Australian Survivor history, which has been Geordie gets his phone call home and Heroes vs Villains, and he finds out he's having a boy. I just think back to that. It's like I look at Brooke just tearing up, and it's like I'm even getting a little bit tear up, just like even thinking about it, And then it's all for a bloody tart. Like, for a tart, Richard.
Not even a steak or like something insane and like, I don't know. Because remember, even earlier, when Simon came with a cup that had a picture of his family or something.
Yeah,
Brooke cried. Like, you could see that it meant a lot. So for her to do that, I mean, I'd also want to, I don't know, take her out, because but good play on her. She's really good.
You just have to seize your cast, right? Are they the kind of cast who are gonna say, "Oh, that's too much," or you go so personal with your strategy, or are they kind of like, "Good job, Brooke"? Like, is it about respect or about being bitter? I think it well. I don't care. It's Survivor. But,
So Brendan is right. I would do a lot worse for chocolate milk. I'd be like, guys, I've a dying family,
grandma.
Exactly. Like my father was he got sent to jail just before. Really, oh gosh, honestly, I feel like I'd actually cry to sing Chocolate Milk even as well. That would be enough. A bottle of chocolate milk, honestly, like that. Like that would set me going, and people would think, oh, it must be something really personal, and it's just a glass of chocolate milk.
And what did you guys think of the clue in the peanut butter toast? I did not expect that as a twist, man.
Yeah.
No, that was a good one. That would get me.
Yeah. What's so funny is that, as Gabe said, so Blanche technically lost, but she still got the clue. But Blanche was even excited about the sandwiches. Like, I messaged her afterwards, and she was like, I felt like I won with the sandwiches.
Yeah, she's right.
She was so happy. Yeah, it could be. I mean, you had, what's it, Lottie got the
lemon,
like that fruit, that like disgusting fruit.
Oh yeah, grapefruit.
It looked like it literally looked like a dying watermelon watermelon or like a rotten watermelon. Like it just looked so bad. But how good was the showdown between Caleb and Jackson though? Where Jackson just clearly just does not like Caleb, and Caleb just messes with him so well. Yeah.
They have exactly sort of opposite yet same personalities, and they've been teasing this since the tribal council with everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't interacted on a tribe yet, am I correct? So it's like this mythical figure on the other tribe that you're like, you little, like you're kind of building your rivalry for the merge. It's all about to explode with those two.
Yeah. What is one item that you guys would go the absolute worst for? Like you see an item, you're pulling a Brooke, as Brendan says here, he would do a lot worse than my dad's story, who's supposed to be in jail for like he would do a lot worse for that peanut butter sandwich. What is one item for you guys that you would do the absolute worst? Same thing with you, Gabe. What is something that would make you just do the absolute worst for? It can be any item.
Like a tiramisu cake. If I saw like a bloody cake with like, I'd do anything for it, literally.
Like any specific cake?
Yeah, tiramisu. Like
tiramisu.
Like coffee cake, yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, those are pretty bloody good. Yeah. How about you, GP?
I think pasta salad or a wrap, chicken wrap, or those lunch stuff is even worse.
Yeah. It's filling.
Yeah.
Or cheesecake with caramel or something. No, you got me.
Yum.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was really worried when I heard the word salad. It's like, really? Over some grass? You go the absolute worst for?
Salad. Yeah.
Pasta salad, okay. And for Gabe is a quesadilla? Is that how you say it? Quesadilla?
Quesadilla.
Anything with cheese or horchata drink. Hang on, I'm going to quickly search that out. I have no idea what that is.
Hey, Rich, what did you think of Brooke still looking for idols, even though she already had one?
Yeah, I mean, she's such a good actor.
For hours or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's purely to convince people that she doesn't have something, so that if they are planning something, they get to like execute it. But I mean, she's really showing that she's here to play, she's here to win, and she's pulling out literally all the stops. And I just love it for Brooke, especially because she has a family to go back to now.
And it's exhausting, right? You're in the woods with the bugs and the dirt, and you're like, why am I doing this? But it's all worth it. They actually believe she didn't have an idol, and they screwed it up.
She should actually win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah, 100%. And so to quick divert the conversation away, I searched up what horchata. It's a Mexican drink, and it actually generally looks pretty bloody good. Like, check this out, lads. Look at it. What do you guys think? It's like a rice drink. Looks pretty nice. Can't go wrong with that. But yeah, learn something new, Gabe. Thank you so much. I had no idea what that drink was, but looks bloody epic, man. I would too probably go a little bit crazy just seeing the look of it. But yes, let's get straight back to Brooke. Do you think, GP, that she's playing her hand way too early? She's exposing herself for like, oh, never mind. I think GP's gone. How about you, Richard? Do you think Brooke is exposing her game too early here? With the lie about the tart. What's your take on that?
I think the best way to play the game is to just be as unassuming as possible. And I think even though she did that for cake, which is nourishment, I think it will hurt her in the long run, because people will always remember that she'll play the game so hard that she pulls on people's emotional strings to get what she wants. And even though that's the game and all, if I'm watching someone do that, it tells me that I must get rid of them, because they won't stop at nothing to win the game. And that's a strong competitor.
Yeah, 100%. And we do get a comment here from Cashflow Rich himself. Cashflow Rich is watching Jackson versus Harry in the wrestling tonight. We'll let you know who wins. Well, thank you so much, Rich. Yeah, I can't wait to see who actually wins. I believe Harry won against Matt when they did their wrestling game in 2019. So it should be pretty exciting to see who's going to win with this one. And Gabe agrees, yes, way too early. Because something, Rich, when we're doing our pre-season breakdown and talk about Brooke, right, is that when we think of Brooke, a lot of people remember her for All-Stars run, where she's the underdog, she's at the bottom and stuff, she's constantly hustling and battling her way to the very end, right? And she's a couple chances short of winning. But what a lot of people forget is that she was running the game in season 1 up until her blindside.
With that big alliance,
Yeah, with a humongous alliance of like 10 people. And I'm just worried that now after this tart move specifically, and obviously the way that she, played the idol, I'm worried that now we're going into merge, like more eyes are going to be in Brooke than she's ever had across her previous seasons.
Exactly. And I think she's going to need the, other returning players like Mark and Simon to sort of like be a shield for her. Otherwise, she has a long, terrible, journey to the end if she makes it there.
Yeah. And GP, even as Gabe said, the whole jury wanted to vote for Brooke in season 1. Across her 2 seasons, she's been the big favorite to win. Obviously alongside David and All Stars. But what do you think Brooke's road is moving forward from here after these plays?
She's the all-arounder, great castaway, right? And it makes me think of the first promo we saw of Brooke. The first time we saw talk, it was with David, but then we saw her say in her personal promo, "I'm actually terrified of the newbies," and it was kind of about the newbies coming for her in the first promos we saw. Yeah. So I'm just scratching my brain, like it must be about that for her, that the newbies take her out, or it's a big battle against them. And I agree with Rich. She needs to band with Simon and Mark and be under them on threat level, and then it's perfect. She'll flow to the end.
Yeah. And one massive thing I did also want to talk about as well. Oh, there we go. And Cashflow Rich has gone as well. So GP, a very interesting moment had happened where Blanche had the idol clue. It's hidden in the shelter and she can't find it, right? So she tells Usher the clue. Oh, is everything all good? Nope, the audio's gone. Uh-oh. Right, Cashflow Rich. Oh my gosh, everyone's just coming in and out. Everyone's just shuffling around this live, honestly. Where is like Michelle?
Survivor twist where people are just swapping out for stuff.
Yeah, because it's like playing a game of tag. You guys are just tagging in and out.
Yeah.
So what I was saying, Richard, is that a very interesting moment when Blanche told Usher about her idol clue and Usher grabs the idol. Now, is exactly everyone moving around on Boys Night? Boys Night is wild. Absolutely, Boys Night is wild.
It's all the girls, sorry.
Yeah, the boys. So Richard, if let's say this is between us, and let's say GP shares an idol clue with you, and you find the idol. Is the idol yours, or are you giving it back to GP?
The idol is mine, but I'm going to tell GP that I want to kiss you so badly because we have this idol together. That was so funny. Yeah. But yeah, whoever finds the idol, I think it's who owns it. Because I think I remember in other seasons where Golden God got the clue from someone, took the idol, and it was owned by him. And yeah.
Oh, well what I mean by that, so GP, it's like, because I feel like if you share the clue with me and I found the idol and I'm like, oh, bro, like I got the idol. Same thing with Asian Champions vs. Contenders. So David's the one that actually grabbed the idol, but he hands it to Luke. Would you like?
I think they didn't show everything with Blanche and Arsha. Like, I think with Blanche's personality, she was like, just.
Yes,
she didn't over-analytic think about it. It was like, you hold on to it and we'll be both there tomorrow. Sort of thing. She did not want that idol to go with Arsha, so Blanche screwed up with that. Not a good read. Don't leave your items with someone else ever. Is my rule. I would never. I can't.
Yeah. Let's go to whoever finds it owns it, and Arsha was willing to give it to Blanche, but she didn't take it. And I've met Blanche. We had some pancakes for breakfast one time. It was absolutely outstanding. Blanche is one of the most loveliest people I've ever genuinely met. She is so kind, so loving, so caring, and I can totally see her being like, you know what, you actually hold on to the idol.
Yeah,
she she does have a little bit of like that Kelly energy where it's like,
Yes.
yeah, oh my God, you're amazing stuff. No, you hold him to it because I might be a bit of a klutz and stuff. So I genuinely do think that's probably what would have happened there.
Yep. Because for me, if let's say maybe I show you the clue and you got the idol and you didn't give it back to me, I'd also think that, wait, what's going on? Does this person trust me? So I think there's like a fine line between letting someone have the idol and demanding it back. That might say you don't trust them. So I don't know. It's a fine line, social.
Yeah, well, GP, because even another example in Survivor New Zealand, actually, so Lisa finds the idol clue, but because she's not as athletic as Matt actually grabs the idol, and they're kind of like, oh, well, you hold on to it, but I'll say when we play it and stuff. But it becomes very tricky, you know. It's almost like having an open relationship with someone, you know, where it's like, yeah, I'm seeing you, but I'm also kind of seeing someone else as well. It gets very, it gets quite hairy.
Yeah.
Look, if it's in your pocket at Tribal Console, you have 100% control on what's going to happen. Otherwise, it's a 99%, even if it's your best friend or your brother there. Like, we think of Ty with Scott and whoever it was.
Jason,
right?
Jason, yeah.
Carl Jason, I mean. So, oh my God, that was a defining moment where someone just decides not to, and then it all falls apart. It's timing idols. It's not just prizes and fun. It's now, tonight, or we're out. So.
Yeah, because you guys also remember when Simon did that to Jesse. Samantha, yes. And then she took the idol, then voted him out. So it's like...
it was dirty.
Brilliant, but yeah.
Yeah, really so dirty, but so good. And speaking of so good, we reached Tribal Council, and it's so funny, like, you know, with Usher's overconfidence, she didn't remember that she had the idol, and she's even saying at Tribal, Brooke is going home. Brooke is gone. Brooke is gone. And just everyone's like, I was on the edge of my seat, GP, because I don't know about you, but this episode was edited so perfectly because you've got the Beauty and the Beast, like, we're taking out Usher. Usher and her gang are so confident that Brooke is going, but there's a lot of silence. There's a lot of just walking around, talking and stuff. It's like, man, this strategy talk is actually kind of dragging on, and I was fully convinced, GP, that we were getting a double idol play because as like Gabe with two peas in a pod, you read my mind. Like Cameron's like, something's up. Brooke isn't even really scrambling, you know? Yeah, exactly. That she either had something or she's not even like really trying. She's a returning player. She's not really fighting to stay in the game. And we started getting a lot of confessionals from Mr. Ben as well during the scramble. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a double idol play. And then you know, Mr. Ben goes out and split vote. It's going to be great. But
Brooke mentions it, a double idol play, right? As she votes. And that's why she votes. For the first time, someone votes for Cameron, and it's Brooke. She's like, just in case there's going to be that little vote. If there's two idol plays, Cameron is tied with Ben, by the way. Such a weird situation, but at least it's not me. Right? A 1-1 tie at final, whatever. Yeah.
And unfortunately, we get to the vote. Brooke plays her idol, and I was like, okay, this is it. Usher's going to play her idol because Brooke's played it, but Usher's so confident in the vote split plan. The votes start reading out, and poor Usher goes out here. GP, were you as heartbroken as I was to see Usher get eliminated on the spot?
I sure was. I've never met her, but damn, she's badass and awesome from the first promo.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's awesome. She's everything. She's everything you want. She's hilarious in confessionals. With the twist, she was always included in the twist, right? She was finding stuff left and right. So she'll be back. How about that?
Can we make a song for her?
No. Eileen's too special. All right, I haven't quite met anyone yet who is on Eileen's level just yet. You know, but if someone was to get the Eileen treatment, it would probably be Usher. Usher was so great. She was so lovely at the watch party as well. I have a really funny story where I was sitting next to Michelle because I've got a really good sense of surrounding, right? It's like I've been in a room and I can tell if someone else is there where there might be and stuff like that, right? Like, I don't know. I just have a thing, right? We were sitting down, the episode was starting, and I feel like someone is staring me down. Someone's like,
what do I feel like? Somebody's
watching me. And I'm like, oh, who is it? You know, there's like a lot of people. And I turned and look, and it was Asha, and she was trying to figure out who I was. And she was like, you're Mucky! Oh my God. Yeah, Asha, so amazing. Love Asha. She's a ball of energy. She's so great, so awesome.
Genuine.
A big fan of the game. And she went out and she played hard, you know. She pretty much, when you think about it, single-handedly took down Dirty Harry. You know, I think I mentioned it in a post where she came out of the gate swinging. She was part of the plan to even take out Rich in the first episode. She ensures that Harry goes by saving Loz. It saves like the Keep the Tribe Strong kind of vote thing and stuff. Really drives the Harry going home thing. She's orchestrating the votes to take out Brooke. And GP, what I think is so interesting is that if she threw the challenge straight after the swap, they might actually take out Brooke here. But because they haven't lost a challenge, plans are starting to brew and stuff. You know, Simon, he wants to keep Brooke around.
You're making me want to talk about how some people have barely voted as well, and they're aching to stab somebody. Okay, I checked out some stat. I'm changing a bit the subject, but have you guys realized that? Have you guys realized that Blanche still hasn't voted correctly, and she hasn't voted? She voted 3 times only, never correct. So it's like, when do you get that frustration out? First of all, against people. You're kind of just on the beach at some point hanging out. Like, do you lose that drive to? I don't know. It's something to be talked about. Some people are always there. Richard is the trouble council squeezing through. It's so funny.
Something that I do just want to mention is that I wonder with the Johnson and when Johnson went out, because obviously with Don, he received a few votes. How much of that was everyone was keen on Johnson going, but Don was the split. You know, I don't think the votes for Don were to take out Don. I think the votes for Don was in case of Johnson had an idol. Yes. So it's like I kind of count that as voting correctly because you know who's going, but you're on the split.
I totally get you. Just a statistic thing, by the way, nothing against her. It's just so interesting with these situations that happen, and it's even harder to do it with 2 tribes to be immune so much. So they're also doing something right in challenges. Like Brooke is strong too. It's an all-around performance we're seeing by that woman. The best so far. I've never enjoyed Brooke that much.
Well, it's actually really funny you actually bring up with Blanche's statistics, GP, because you know I hate to take over useless Australian Survivor facts, but he's not here, so someone has to step up. But
to do it.
Brooke has attended 3 tribal councils and has played an idol on 2 of them.
Exactly. I wanted to say that too. She has been immune. She has been unsafe 1 single time at Cat's Tribal Council forever ago. So I wonder what's the feeling. Look, she's at the merge now, so completely vulnerable. She better start winning.
Yeah, but something I did want to ask you guys, and it's about the Beauty and the Beast alliance, right? Because I look at Simon, right? Obviously, he's itching to play the game. I was so happy for Simon. I got to meet him in Brisbane. Also, genuinely, just a standout bloke. He's honestly just so great, so lovely. And he even says it took him, 80 days for him to finally make a move, and it actually works out, you know? It's like, I'm happy for Simon. I'm glad it worked out. But GP, what I want to talk about, though, is was this a good move for Simon? I think we talked a little bit about it last week with Useless and Australian Survivor memes, but I think the Beauty and the Beast alliance gives him more agency in the game. But I think if we stuck with Asha and her gang, long term it would have worked out better because Brooke, endurance beast, right? We've seen her now in 2 seasons. She's the challenge beast of the season, right? You know, with Jackson, he's no slouch in challenges. You know, you've got Mr. Ben as well. He's been the challenge beast of the pre-merge. You know, he's dragging the boat with his teeth, for God's sakes. You know, like,
is that safe?
Like, great. Probably not. But you know, he's sided with all these challenge beasts and stuff, which I think are great. But I wonder if he took them out pre-merge, is there a good chance that maybe it'll be very unlikely, but maybe he wins out? if all the jump bits are gone?
It's a good question. I mean, I don't think he's worrying about individual immunity just yet. I'm not worried about that yet. It's so a shot in the dark, that stuff, right? So it was a good move because it was what he wanted at that time. And he is with that new alliance, which is so funny, the name Beauty and the Beast. It puts a weird focus on laws all of a sudden. I don't know if they're going to use that, like, oh yeah, she was our queen and we followed behind, or I don't know what. But the name is interesting too, and it puts Brooke as a beast. It's very cheeky, but I think they're setting us up for a big story with them where we got to take them all down or they win.
We'll definitely talk about the... so it's Bean, Jackson, Brooke, Simon, and Loz. That's the 5. And as Gab says here, Simon wants redemption to actually play in power and not being on the bottom. I 100% agree. I'm just thinking longevity in the game. Like I say here, it's more agency. There's more ways he can move around and actually play the game, which I think is very fun and exciting for Simon. But it's a harder route to get to the end because you don't know how it's all going to work. Whereas with Lottie's alliance, he's like a puppy dog and just does whatever they say. Yes. So he plays like a goat, but I think maybe I don't know. It's a hard one, but. Shall we?
The Lottie stuff. Can I talk about Lottie 1 minute?
Yeah.
Sure.
That is the most complex, long-running story of a woman this season. Where who is she really gonna latch to? And she tends to go to those returnees. Like, now I'm with Mark and I trust him a lot. Okay, now I'm with Simon. I need Simon for me. And Lottie's always like this goddess floating above it all, and untouchable. What is Lottie's story like? I'm the most confused about her. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's hard for you to place her, but I think she's really established herself as someone that's a strategic thinker. And I think when we head to merge, I think she might be the figurehead to rally up the little first-time newbie players to be like, hey, these guys are returners. They know how to play this game well. And if we keep them longer than they should be, they're definitely sitting at the end and they're going to win over us, the new people that, new to the game.
Yep, agree.
100%. And as Gabe does say here, I fully agree. I'm worried Simon still wants to work with Lottie. His puppy dog attitude can't drop her. She's going to be his demise. I can't wait till the end of this podcast. We're going to talk about all the different factions going into merge and what we think is going to happen. However, GP, this is why. So, fun fact, everyone. I actually asked GP if he can come on next week for the merge, but then we got this massive twist. Like, man, we can't not have the twist guy talking about the twist. So, GP, would you like to explain what this non-elimination twist was?
Redemption Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, it's very unique because David Janae lies a little bit. He says, that's where we'll have the 11th person voted out. And that's all he says about it, right? So right away, you don't think anything's going to happen. It's technically true. There is an 11th person voted out and a 12th and a 13th. He doesn't say that. So first of all, the setup is confusing, but the rest is perfect to me. It's great that they do a non-elimination that is not about your life, but more about your agency in the game. You see Sally talk about, like, I'm completely useless. Like, I'm shipped out to the losing tribe and I don't have a vote. Like, when do you see this kind of dead man walking stuff? Not very often.
We did see it in season 3.
I know, right? So not very often. And around the world either. It's taking away agency, the sort of shutting down the status of a player is an interesting twist that they don't do enough. I liked it. So 3 people had to go to Redemption Beach. 1 would win the challenge and nothing really happens to them anymore. And the 2 others would lose their votes, is the twist. And they would join the losing tribe. So I would say that episode has a long setup of, like, it was too obvious to me, guys. I knew that Keely and Sally would go back to the green tribe, to the purple tribe.
They even showed it, and you know how, like, we're seeing on the social media page, they do, like, the first watch of the episode. So I showed Keely chatting with Faith, and I was like, they go back. So they go back. At first, I thought they spoiled that, like, because as Gabe says here, he's happy that it's not a lose challenge. You're out of the game. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I was like, so does it mean that Keely wins and she's back, and it's between like Caleb and Sally, you know. But yeah, it was interesting.
They didn't know really what would happen all the way there, so it's a true nightmare.
Yeah. But something that you know, as Gabe says here, is quite different to past Redemption Island twists. JP, how would you rank this amongst the different Redemption Islands? You've got Redemption Island, Edge of Extinction, Redemption Rock, you've got Purgatory, good old Purgatory, Blood vs. Water, and also in All Stars you have, and I guess in Champions vs. Contenders too, where it's like the random exile where you battle your way back. How would you rank them?
It all started with Redemption Island, the season where Mariano won, right? And they played with the first people who go. They always duel or truel, you know, and then one gets back. Edge of Extinction is more you accumulate people, and then one huge challenge. You win with all the winners at war. Redemption Rock, very small. It's more the setup for jump into the merge. Baden and Haley, right? So they went there. Haley wins. A great story. It was too small of a twist for me, and it's like, okay. Redemption Beach. Okay, I don't know if it'll be that memorable. The name is sort of also like, I don't know. Michelle the other week said Redemption Reef. I don't know. Let's bring up the drama. Let's send them somewhere a bit decorated and even creepier.
They're stuck on like a pontoon in the middle of the ocean. Yeah,
exactly. Play with the humor of it even more, and then you will remember it for years to come. But this one might get lost a little bit. It was, after all, a bit mid-impact, right?
Yeah, 100%. But I did find it quite interesting though. So obviously with Caleb and Sally, they're always gonna go, you know. But this is where I want to give actually Cashflow Rich a lot of credit, because we see there's a lot of drama, right, Richard, between Mark, Keely, and Faith, because Keely is very tempted to send Mark to Redemption Beach, and he finds this out and stuff, a lot of drama. They sort it out. How is Rich not getting any votes here? He throws a vote onto Keely, and I actually wrote this down in a whole Instagram post because I thought this move here was brilliant, and I'll read it out to you guys, right? So, so here's what I said in my Instagram post. While the edit isn't really showing it, Rich is playing one of the best games on New Bounty. No idle, 7-2 minority, and has made it to the last 3 players standing on Bounty. His move to vote for Keely was brilliant for a number of reasons. Number one, he creates an opportunity to break up the overwhelming trio of the head office, because Keely, Faith, and Mark have been running the show since day dot. Number two, out of everyone on the tribe, Keely seems like she might be the worst at challenges, because even in the head office, Faith has actually won individual immunity with Simon, right? And Mark has always put himself in the hero roles of challenges where it either works out great or it doesn't work at all. So by trying to bring Keely with him, because he's pretty convinced he's going, by trying to bring Keely with him, he is setting her up as the easy beat, right? Or number three, since multiple people are going, there might be a chance to kind of Squid Game the challenge, right? Where it's like maybe you can work together to sabotage other people. We've seen that Rich and Keely have got some form of connection or alliance going.
Yes,
if he needs to rely on a player to help him out,
it's her.
It's going to be Keely.
It was brilliant from Rich. It was brilliant. I talked to Sally a little bit, by the way, and she said a tribe of 6 is actually the hardest number, because when you think of mathematics, damn the possibilities with that, right? 5-1, 4-1-1, 2-2-2, 3-3, and then your head spins and you don't know exactly what's going to happen. It's worse than a tribe of 4, debatable, but that one vote that affects everything, it created a 3-2-1, which is always fun, but it saved his ass. I can't believe Mark got no votes, though. Like, when Mark comes back, the next episode is like, I didn't get any votes. I'm like, I know. What's going on?
Yeah.
Never got any votes this season.
Yeah. Now, I have obviously talked a lot of smack about Mark on this podcast, but I don't think he's playing that great of a game. But I will admit, this week he played a great week this week. I will admit that. I still think in a lot of the earlier weeks, Keely and Faith kind of had a leash on him, because part of Mark's redemption story, so he never striked first. He waited too long, and Caroline took out Viola. Raymond took out Valeria. You get me? He was always on the back foot. But I think this season, his whole thing was, I got to try and maintain the numbers and stuff. But no, I think he's finally realized this season, his redemption is to strike first. And this is where we get into a lot of very interesting things. But just before we do move along, Gabe here does have a lot of very great comments. Purgatory remembered horribly making 1 week of episodes. Yeah, it was literally all meaningless. And yeah, exactly. Richard has got a great underdog story, and you think in writing he'd be getting a bigger edit. GP, why do you think Rich isn't getting a bigger edit? Do you think he's like a goat for Simon, or what's happening there?
Okay, is this kind of complex edit for Rich where people talk about Rich a ton, and Rich lets us in on his game a little bit? That's the edit they want to give. So we're kind of all rooting for Richard to do well. Are we rooting for him for a winner anymore? Like, I am, but the edit doesn't tell me to do that. You get me? So, okay, the only thing he had in the first episode ever of this season was, hey, let's target Rich, maybe, and it goes to commercial. So if we look at if he wins, like his winner's journey was under attack in the first episode, by the way. If it's like Pia, I don't like, if we try to build a story, is Rich winning? If it's Rich winning here, that's all I don't know yet.
I mean, it's so interesting because Richard, quite literally, Richard is clearly got one of the best social games out there, because Simon is like, hey, Matt, he's like, hey, man, you protect Amber. No, you protect Richard. I'll protect one of yours.
And publicly, basically, right? Isn't public?
Yeah, publicly. Simon is like Richard is begging for his life and challenges for Simon. Simon, he gives up individual immunity and hands it to Rich publicly in front of everyone. Usher is throwing challenges to save Richard as well. Like, people are just falling over their knees for Richard, but we're just not seeing Richard's game, which has been quite unfortunate.
Maybe it's just part of his personality that he's not like as loud as Caleb, and he's just a humble guy that's just, doesn't say much, but we can see him show glimpses of someone who's smart. I mean, he is in business, cash flow rich, so he should know his way around surviving.
And I think he gives great reactions that kind of fool people. Rich is always like, oh, what?
Oh, his facials are just so great, isn't it? Always like, even the watch party he hosted, there was the episode where Don got voted out, and his facials the episode were just perfect, mind-blowingly perfect. Love Rich so much. Great guy, great television. Love Rich. And he liked Shakespeare in the first episode.
He goes to Shakespeare's nights where you quoted impulsively a bit of improv night.
The poetry makes sense now. Like the waves and water sweeping things away. I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's funny because I actually studied a lot of Shakespeare when I was in high school, because I did drama. Yeah. So we did Macbeth, Midsummer Night Dream, all those kind of plays, right? I studied a lot, and I don't remember shit. I spent 3 years 4 years, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 years studying Shakespeare, and I don't remember anything. So
it's wild.
So clearly I'm a terrible student because I don't remember anything. But
I mean, can we talk about the craziness that happened on the Redemption Beach when they kept on finding keys, and then Caleb was like,
"Oh, how funny was that?
This is the best day of my life. I love this." And there's like a billion other keys, so the one you found doesn't matter.
I thought that was so funny. It's like, wow, like I was even like writing my notes. It's like, wow, like the bro found what is it, the answer before he even discovered the equation. I was like, he doesn't know what this kid's gonna do, but then he sees a box, tries and it doesn't work. It's like, what? And then it cuts to like Keely has found a key, Sally's found a key. It's like, oh my gosh.
But even better was the extremely horror-like scene of Keely near the shelter with that machete. Oh, okay. Take out the box thing, the logo. The counterfeit idol. The counterfeit idol is weirdly a twist I had on my page a few weeks ago, where
smart.
Like the real twist I made was you would give it to the host and it saves someone else, not you. So it's fake, I don't know if she's gonna use it that way. Like, hey, play it.
Well,
nothing's gonna happen.
Let's not forget. I don't want this to be like a spoiler to anyone, but David did say pre-season that this season's got the best fake idol play of all time.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So
That's
you know,
true.
I don't know if that's with Keeley. I don't know if that's with someone else in the later on in the season or something. But I still think the best fake idol play to this day is when Dominic used it in the final 6 of Ghost Island, where he bluffed his way into convincing Sebastian not to vote for him, not to even use his extra vote, and blindsided Sebastian. Yeah, Seabass. Man, I actually really liked it, Seabass. So what's that,
he's a
GP?
fun guy.
You want a niche idol story from Survivor Quebec? Some guy won
Yeah.
Survivor Quebec with a fake idol story the whole way. Maybe I do have one, maybe I don't. What is that rule?
Oh, and then they didn't vote for him.
That's right. Too scared to vote for him, anyone. So
There isn't.
it can. And Bob from Gabon as well. The first
True.
really one.
Yeah, Bob from Gabon. Yeah.
So you know what?
See,
Still a
something
great strategy.
that I think like players like George needs to do, right? Especially with the reputation George has, or Russell, right? You find one real idol, right? Then you just make as many fake ones as you can to match it. And then you wear all of them around your neck. It's like, all right, everyone, we're going to play idol roulette. But I'm just going to play an idol at every single tribal council. A couple of these are real. A couple of these are fake.
I love it.
You're just going to have to wait and see which one I'm going to play.
The only thing with Keely here is that she doesn't have the cord of the necklace. It's literally the circle that looks
It could be a
identical.
nullifier. Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah.
It could look like a nullifier. I don't know, because it typically looks like a.
She could say that. Oh,
Right.
good.
Or
good
maybe
idea.
what you can do, you can leave it near the top of your bag so people see it. Not the cord.
Or a bolt in
know?
the pocket, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like the bulge in the pocket, it's kind of like like it's been there and done, right? I think people need to actually see the idol to actually believe it. Exactly. And yeah, you can easily just grab some string, grab some rope, kind of like tie it around and stuff like that, you know. But something even that I've thought about doing if I was to ever play the Traders, right? So here's a little strategy if I was to ever play the Traders, right? I would bring a necklace with me, right? However, I would never actually wear the necklace in the game, but whenever I feel unsafe, I would have the chain of the necklace dangling out of my pocket. So it looks like a shield. Yeah, so it looks like I might have a shield and I just haven't put it in my pocket properly.
You guys want a good one? On House of Villains, some guy brought a fake advantage note. Like, this makes you immune at the next blah, blah, blah. And everyone believed it. And he was like,
I need to watch it.
Oh my gosh, what? Is that the one with Tom Sandoval and Tyson?
Yes, but the season before with Wes Bergman from The Challenge, a master of trickery.
Yeah.
So good.
And
on Survivor, but they checked your clothes. Sorry.
Yeah. And Caleb is living up to being a fun character. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Caleb. How about you guys? You guys enjoying Caleb?
I don't know. He can't stop talking, and I don't know why he's screaming in a confessional because he's bloody alone. Yeah, he's like.
Oh, how funny was that when Faith is like, "Don't vote for me." It's just like, "Nah, you're done, bro. You're done." Well,
guys,
let's actually talk about.
How did you feel with that? Because it's so funny. Obviously, it's an amazing moment. In the game, someone does that to me. Oh, I want you dead now. You know, if Faith stayed and you did that to me, you're dead to me now. So the social component of it, he doesn't give a shit really, but it's so fun.
Exactly. Faith has literally been gunning for him all season.
So whatever. Right?
And he's aware of that. So it's kind of like, even if it, because here's my thing, right? I think where Tez went wrong, right, was that there was never a line in the sand when it came to people trying to go for Mark, for Kelly, or Faith, right? It was always, no, we can't go for them because they're controlling everything. I think sometimes, even if it doesn't work out, you throw a vote. You throw as many votes as you can that way and stuff. Even if it doesn't work, you've created that line. People can see the line. Now they can see that actually there is something sort of emotion. Maybe they'll flip to join your side, and maybe they won't. Maybe they'll think it's too soon for a move, and then you get voted out. But at least you went out trying, than just hoping for a miracle. No shade to Tez whatsoever. Sorry, Tez, if you're watching. There's no shade to you. But but that's just how I personally see it. But we here get GP the downfall of Faith. And for me personally, this goes all the way back to a very Richard, I don't know if you were here for this or not, but Michelle and I had a very big debate about whether or not you take out the big dog or their close allies to weaken them. Because in my opinion, GP, if you really wanted to weaken someone, you send them out of the game. What are they going to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Keely and Faith were always talking about Mark. And this is why I was saying that I don't think Mark was playing that great of a game early on, because Mark's got these numbers, but Faith and Keely are constantly talking about how they want to get rid of his numbers. And they actually are. They're getting rid of his numbers. They got rid of Don. They, always had plans in motion to take out Caleb. Apparently, Tez was in his pocket, but from what I've heard, Tez was never actually really with Mark. But his own numbers were going against each other, and were always constantly trying to weaken him. That's why I didn't think Mark was playing that great, right? But that's right. So Keely and Faith constantly trying to weaken Mark, so then Mark will be closer to them, right? But that's not going to work because you've just betrayed Mark. Right? And this is what I think is a consequence of it. You keep on taking shots at Mark's allies, keep on trying to weaken him. At some point, it's just going to turn around and just slap you right in the face because you left a big threat in the game. He still has the power, still has the influence, and this is what happened.
I think they're really trying to set up 2 eliminations. Like, let's say I take out Faith now, then maybe I can take out Mark easier next time. So you kind of push yourself two spots ahead. I think that's what the greediness comes from. It's not necessarily to weaken Mark the whole way. It's also pushing myself, right? If you do it the opposite order, go for Mark first, then a huge shield is gone, and then that other girl will run around to someone else that is not me. So in a way, I kind of corner Mark. And the stuff with Faith, guys, how they got Faith out is masterful in terms of the mask of it all, but the cornering of her, like, it's the only way it could have happened, right? That Faith goes out. Now, I was blindsided.
Yeah, I'm still in the camp for you try to corner Mark so he'll try to work with you and stuff like that, but he'll never forget that. He'll always come back to you, right? Because he's the big dog, he's the big fright, right? Yes, you do get rid of a shield, but you get rid of a massive player who's going to have the influence and the tactics to come after you, right?
Yeah.
I saw a similar thing happen in USA Survivor where, I think Ozzy was trying to get rid of Angelina to try and make Mark closer to him. But it's like, if you're going to get rid of someone's number one ally and you think they're going to want to choose to work with you after you've just sent one of their closest friends, what's the logic in that? It doesn't work.
Really that's a perfect example. Perfect example because Ozzy screwed it all up by wanting someone for himself. It flipped everyone against him. Ozzy wants a Mike White White Lotus cameo. You know what? Let's break that up.
Yeah. I was like,
Probably.
what? Christian is amazing, man. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
And fans in the chat comment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about a massive blunder. Like Richard, we've been mates for years now, right? We've been mates for years. We've been mates for years, and never would I admit to your face that, I'm going to have to take you out, bro. Why did Faith bloody mention to Mark, you're playing a way better game than I am, so yes, you can go to the end with me, but I'm not going to go to the end with you. I got to take you out. What pot is she smoking? Must be that bloody good.
I was so confused. Like, why even saying it this early? Maybe if it's like final 6, then you guys are honest to each other. But like, you're telling someone that you're gonna save him a jury seat before merge even happens. That's like more ammo to be like, we need to get rid of this girl because clearly she's not looking to work with me in the long run. And I think Mark made the best decision for himself.
100%. Well, it's almost like with Dino and Phil and Return of the Outcast, right, Richard? Where like they were so honest with each other towards the end. It's like, bro, I need you gone if I want to win.
Yes.
Because
Dino knew he was safe at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you understand it. There's 4, maybe 5 people left in the game, right? It's like this close to the end. We've still got we've still got roughly a month left of the game left to play. And having these kind of chats already, like huge blunder. And yes, I do love a blunt villain being hilariously honest. I do agree. It was great TV. But yes, like GP, what was Faith hoping to get out of that conversation with Mark?
Very confusing. I think they were getting almost too casual with each other, where Faith started the joking around like, I'm gonna get you.
Get rid of
And
you,
Mark
yeah.
at some point starts blinking like, she's actually gonna do it. It's not
Yeah.
joking anymore. And Mark was gonna be loyal, he said. So I think just Faith killed the spirit of longevity for all that. Yeah, good move for Mark. Better than yourself. So
Yeah.
it was
And
massive
yeah,
danger. Massive danger. He saved himself also.
Yeah. Well, what's so interesting, Richard, is that, everyone on the other tribe was talking about Mark, right? Even Simon's like, maybe I throw the challenge to then get
Get rid of
Keely
Keely.
and then get rid of Keely, right? To like weaken his numbers going into merge and stuff. And I think Mark made the best move possible because Faith and Keely aren't going to be too loyal to Mark, right? But Caleb will. Rich might help him out because Mark's been helping Rich out, right? And that's at least 3 solid numbers moving forward. Yes, he keeps Sally in the game, which I have a lot to say about Sally. Can't wait to talk about Sally. But
Yes.
yes, Sally is kind of a game simp. At least he's got 3 solid confirmed numbers going into a merge. Whereas if Caleb was to go here, or if Sally was to go, yes, he might have like Healing Faith kind of with him, but there's a lot of uncertainty, but he's going in with more certainty of where everyone is. And I think that is a lot better to have than a lot of uncertainty, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like you're explaining it in the long run. I think Richard and Caleb are much more of a solid number for Mark than, Kelly and Faith were, because you could see them scheming, bonding together more than they are with the rest of the people in the tribe. So I think all things concerned, Mark made the right decision. But then the scary part is when everyone is free to mingle with one another, might Mark regret the decision of getting rid of someone that was close to him? But I don't think it's a bad decision because clearly the person said, I'm going to get rid of you anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. And as Gabe said, Caleb isn't a number for Mark, I think. Yeah, but I think
returners.
At least Mark isn't aware, or at least seems like he isn't aware that Caleb's after him. Faith literally says, I have to get rid of you. And it's kind of like, is Faith got to like jump at the first opportunity? I don't know. But is Caleb going to jump at the first opportunity? So far, Caleb's had chances to maybe flip against Mark, but he hasn't yet. So, and he just wanted to survive and still wants returning players out. Yeah, I do think once we get to the merge, it'll be very, very exciting. And I do agree with this take, though. Mark realized I'm dropping this duo, putting all my hopes with Brooke and Simon. That's exactly what I think is going to happen at merge.
And it was so weird, guys, how it was a 4-person vote that ties and it goes to a 3-person vote. I've never seen that specific thing. Where Keely was useless really the whole way. And then the others are, oh my God. Confusing. I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I'm not going
to mean, it makes sense because isn't there a rule with the new era, which, oh my gosh, I actually hated this rule, when if there's a draw between 2 players, but one has lost their vote, the other person can actually vote again.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense in a 3-way tie. Then I choose which of the 2 others I could vote for. It's even seen on Big Brother Australia with 3 people nominations. The nominees vote for each other. So it's like, it's interesting, but I get you.
Yeah, and I have to talk about this because she's my girl, she's my queen, she's my icon. I love Sally. Sally's playing the best game out there, and let me tell you why. So, from the very start, right, she's getting talked about as maybe the split vote between her and Johnson, right? She escapes that tribal with only 1 vote. It wouldn't have even been enough if an idol was played, right? Yeah. She comes in, forms the wise women's alliance. It's getting targeted by Mark, but what happens? Keely and Faith step in. We're going to take out Don. Takes out Don. Sally is in the core center of the tribe, moving forward, right? With Keely and Faith copying all the heat. They're the ones who are looking like the big strategists, but Sally's just there. She's going along. And the second she's in any proper danger, production steps in and saves her with a non-elim. Even the production Survivor gods are on her side. All right. So the cast is on her side. The Survivor gods are on the side. She's going to win this game. Everyone, I'm calling it. She's going to win it. She's going to do great. And coming into the merge, you know, as Gabe says here, everyone was cheering for Sally. Everyone wants Sally on their side. She's going deep. And I do actually have a deal with Sally, actually.
Yeah.
I have a deal with Sally. I told her if she votes out Mark, if she orchestrates vote on Mark, I have to fly back over to Sydney by her bottles of tequila.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. And I made the same deal with Blanche as well, that if Blanche votes out Mark, I have to fly back to the Gold Coast and buy her like a 6-pack of some beers.
I mean, if Mark is the first merge boot, you have 2 tequila bottles to buy and you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm still recovering from my previous holiday. Surely not. But also something short. Mark finds it. Well, you know, before we go into merge predictions, everyone's been waiting for it. I was going to bring it up the premiere week, but I accidentally stuffed it up. Accidentally deleted everything. I was going to bring it up the second week, but was on my phone, you know, like overseas and stuff. Didn't have time to organize it. And then the third week, just came back from holiday. Didn't have time to organize it. Now, we finally have it, everyone. Everyone, please welcome back the tier list. We're back, baby. Finally have the tier list. And can I just say, guys, I have bought a lifetime subscription for the tier list maker.
The man with the money
still kept popping up. The ad still kept popping up. It made nothing. So the GoFundMe for Mucky Hope Productions to officially buy the tier list meant nothing at the very end. So we found a new one here. And what we're going to do, since it is the pre-merge is now officially over, we're just going to go just very quickly through all the players, quick generic thoughts on everyone as we move them down to eliminated. And we'll start off with Daniel, who I predicted was the first boot, but you guys are like, no, pre-merge. I'll start with you, Richard. What was your overall thoughts on Daniel?
Massive super fan, but had a weakness of not remembering people's names, and I think it led to his downfall.
Yeah. How about you, GP?
We saw everything we needed to see with Daniel. Please work on your name remembrance. Guys, my name is Guillaume. Do you know how much people don't remember that? In Germany, no one remembers my name. So I feel something when people don't.
Yeah. No, I like Daniel. It sucked to see a super fan go like super early, but it's goodbye, Daniel. You know, sucks to see it go so early, but he was pre-merge, so we were technically right that he went out pre-merge. But and I agree. Fun first boot, absolutely right. We move on to Kat now. Poor Kat. I was devastated when we lost Kat. Massive fan of Kat. You know, she blew up the game. She was trying to go against Mark and Faith early on, and unfortunately just didn't quite have the numbers to swing that way. How about you, GP? What was your thoughts on Kat?
I clocked her when we did that. I was like, she comes in real sneaky in her eyes and she wants to create trouble. I clocked her. I didn't think she would make it far. And the promos didn't show much. Sure. Well,
yeah. No, very chaotic player, but very fun player. How about you, Richard?
Yes.
Any final thoughts on Kat?
I enjoyed watching her play. She made some like bold moves, which were the right moves, but obviously it's a numbers game. If people don't rally with you, you're out.
Yeah. And so once we were right about Kat. She was pre-merged, so down to eliminated. Now here's where we get to our second wrong, massive wrong. Poor old Eliza. We had her on jury duty. Womp womp. She's done and eliminated. I felt sorry for Eliza. You know, same thing with Daniel. She's a massive super fan of the game.
Yes.
I got the chance to meet her as well at the watch party that Richard hosted. Such a beautiful human being, honestly. Really kind, really loving. And she's quite open and raw with how upset she was for going out super early. And it must be heartbreaking to be a massive fan, a super fan of the game, and get taken out super early, you know? GP,
she had
you have a
one
lot.
big standout episode at least, but that was heartbreaker of the season for me, Eliza.
Yeah. How about you, Richard? What's your final thoughts on Eliza?
Yeah, she was authentic and she was lovely to watch. But yeah, unfortunately, the game is the game, so they had to take her out.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Eliza was a victim of warning Lyndall. You never want to warn Lyndall about things, right? She'll bloody turn things around on you. And we move on to another blunder with Paula. I'm not sure why we put Paula in jury duty. I think it was just because why not? But Paula's the next to go here. I don't have too much to really say on Paula, From what I've heard, she was actually throwing out Simon's name around constantly. So it was actually a smart play for Simon to turn on Paula and Harry here. So, yeah, how about you, GP? Thoughts on Paula?
After all, she might have the lowest edit of the season in terms of the meatiness of her edit, and she was a victim of just weakening Harry. So that's her story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. But nice enough tomboy kind of girl where it was interesting, but we didn't see much. Huh?
Yeah. And how about you, Cashflow Rich? Final thoughts on Paula?
She was lovely. I mean, I love anyone that would work with Dirty Harry, but unfortunately, that's it. That's her demise.
Yeah. Speaking of which, our winner pick of the season, Dirty
Which you
Harry.
forced on us, by the way.
Bro, I had it mapped out. Yeah, the first promo of the season, exact same as Parvati, exact same as Mars, exact same as Ferris, and it gets what a devastating way to go as well. Like, I made a meme of it where it's really funny, but it's also really true. I'll play it here real quick.
I'm off to buy imaginary groceries.
So many things went wrong for Harry to go out, but yeah, as Gabe says here, Harry came in with a nickname and a cast of super anti-returning players. He's the only one with a moniker. All three players, he is the most villainous one. Also, out of all four players, he's the most villainous player out there. And yeah, really gutted to see Harry go here. How about you, Cashflow Rich?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally a series of unfortunate events, and it all led up to him being the only reasonable. Plus, I mean, Jackson sort of throwing Harry under the bus didn't help the situation either, outside of the immunity. So, yeah, unfortunately.
How about you, GP? Any final thoughts on Dirty Harry?
He's coming back. It's still not over. Yeah. I
don't think so.
I don't know what he needs to do to play well, better every time. Like, it's all downhill from here.
I can see him coming back for Australia Vista World, but it definitely seemed like in his final words and the way he was acting, I don't think he plans on coming back. They say that the good things come in threes. I would love to see Harry return again, but maybe like a game changers type season or something. But I think Australia Vista World 2 is probably the best one to bring him.
Do you think he actually has a rivalry with Jackson, or do you think it as a joke at this point? So
I've got the wrestling on right now, which we're waiting for our boy Rich. Where is he? He was just up here somewhere. Yeah, we're still waiting for our boy Rich to let us know who actually took out the wrestling. But anyways, let's move along. We have got, who's the sixth one out? It was Johnson. We were right. Another right one. We've got two. That's technically right. Johnson out pre-merge. Johnson, really lovely person. I enjoyed Johnson's personality. And, I think with Faith was a great character, but she wasn't a great player. And the moment with Johnson is where I really firmly believe that she's not a great player because they're wanting to do the blindside on Caleb to weaken Mark, and they want to leave Mark out of it. From Johnson's perspective and our perspective, Mark is spending all the time with Faith, right? During the tribal, when Kat goes, who's the first person Mark pulls up to have a chat with? It's Keeley. And they're telling him, hey, we're going to do a blindside to weaken Mark, But it's like, hang on, but you're like his number ones. Why should I believe you? And just the way that Faith was shooting him down, about the move and stuff, like, oh, you can't go around and talk with anyone, Johnson, otherwise, I'll make you go to your grave and all that kind of shit, the way that they also treated Tiz as well. They called him useless and stuff for telling him the plan at the very last minute and him not following through with it. It's like, come on, guys. Really, really great villains. What I like about Faith is that she was fun to root against. Because I love when you feel something about players, either you're rooting for them or against them. Because we still have a few players where I don't really know what to really feel about them. But long story short, I'm sad to see Johnson go here. We didn't really get to see too much from him. How about you, GP? What's your final thoughts on Johnson?
Just if he plays on another show, I really hope for him that he's not against a huge domineering figure again. Like on Big Brother, he was against Reggie, who is Australia's sweetheart. Now he lands on this tribe with celebrities, literally returnees. Can he get a clean? But he is a returnee to me, but he needs a clean cast where he'll sneak and be in the shadows, because he's put in the shadows, yet he is in the shadows. It's hard to gather my thoughts, but he's just a lovely, lovely fucking human who's so glad to be there. And I would see him again, Johnson. Come back. Why not?
Yeah. How about you, Cashflow?
Yeah, I mean, he was a domineering force, and some forces are too irresistible. So yeah, I think they had to take him out, and I think that was Mark's best decision at that point in the pre-merge.
Yeah. Anyways, we move on to our boy Don. Jury duty, nah, straight out. I think Don's a lovely human being. Honestly, he wrote a song about his time on Survivor. Make sure you do check it out on Don Rogers Music. Just a really great guy. I thought he was such a fun, I 100% agree with you here, Gabe. Don was such a fun character this season. A standout newbie gave us fun TV, and it's such old school Survivor. Like Cashflow. You and I both know that I haven't been a fan of American Survivor for so long, and that's because I'm just not a fan of the game bots all the time, right? I love when people like genuine characters, genuine people, and yet with Don, he wasn't there to strategize. He was there to make a damn shelter, and as soon as he gets swapped onto a tribe with a pre-made shelter, that's when it gets taken out. His services were not.
They didn't need him.
Yeah.
I think for Don, he needed to appeal to whoever would like Don Rogers. Steve Rogers. Wait, what's his brother's name? No,
it's Matt Rogers.
Matt Rogers. That's he should have appealed to people who like Matt Rogers in secret. Like, hey, I don't know. Like, do you know I'm his brother? The way he said it to the whole group totally was like a wet explosion. Like nothing really happened. That's what the fans criticize about Don. But a great guy who was looking for more redemption. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, moving along, we lost Swindle Lindell. Look, this is where we had the big chat last week with Australian Survivor memes and Australian Survivor facts. I've really loved the season of Australian Survivor Redemption. I think the cast is great. I think the gameplay is great. Each week the gameplay gets better and better. A lot of the twists and challenges and things that they've done with the gameplay have been really great. 10 out of 10. Loved. All the challenges have been so much fun, so great to watch. However, how they edited Lyndall's idol was shocking. Absolute shocking, where they try and make you believe that her idol is still active, but Lyndall even said that her idol was actually taken off her after the swap, and it still showed the idol icons, like, oh, maybe I could play my idol and stuff, and if Evan Brooke was all over the Australian Survivor social saying, nah, the idol had to be used before the swap.
I don't like that.
Exactly. It just the edit for that was dumb, and it just makes Lyndall look like an idiot when she's not, and so
the editors are trying to build a story that isn't there, or to hide something that isn't there, to squeeze the last drop of the lemon of drama. Really, they should just tell us the truth. We're smart enough to take anything, right? The Australian fans have a brain big time. They analyze a lot. Don't lie to us in any way, and you got a perfect fan base. I think everyone loves this season except for that. That was the only spot on it, no?
Yeah, I'd say some of the editing and the challenges have been slightly off as well, in terms of who's going to win the challenge. Sometimes it just ends. It's like, oh, no music build up or anything. But I did enjoy Lyndall, though. I thought she was so fun. not really self-aware about her game positioning, which I feel like added a lot more to the drama, a lot of fun and stuff. And yeah, losing her and Don back to back was pretty heartbreaking. How about you, Cashflow? What's your thoughts on Swindle Lindell?
Yeah, I thought she was one of the characters that were going to make it quite far because she had the alliance with Mark and the Idol, and I thought she was maybe going to make it to final 6, 7, but yeah, didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how about you, GP? Any final thoughts on Swindle Lindell?
She was so excited about this season. I saw some reaction videos, and she brought it. Like, we'll remember her. A bit of a Valeria story that ends too quickly for the bombshell of the season. But oh well. There's some scenes I'll remember of Lindell when she tells everybody one by one what's going on, and the slow-mos of her. And what a great character. So good casting.
Yeah, I agree. Really great character. And after her, wait, who goes after Swindle Lindell? I'm trying to think. It's just Tez. He does go this right. Poor Tez. We thought he was runner-up. How on earth did we think he was runner-up? Honestly, no. I love Tez. I think Tez is a great guy. Chatted with him many times. I adore Tez. I really do. I think he's genuinely one of the greatest humans out there to ever exist. Yeah, but I do think that, as I said, sometimes you just got to fully commit to a plan, even when no one's really on board with it. Make that line in the sand. And I think that's kind of where he went wrong. Seemed a little bit flaky and stuff in the game and stuff, but yeah, no, he got done pretty dirty this season. How about you, Cashflow? What do you think of Tez this season?
Yeah, he was an interesting character. He had interesting tribal council answers where most people were confused, but yeah, he's a super fan, knows what he's doing out there, but unfortunately didn't seem to find an alliance or group that sort of wanted to play the game with him and understood his motivations as to what his moves were. So yeah, good bloke.
Yeah. Just one quick question I want to ask you guys. What do you think is worse, being a super fan and getting a purple edit like Tez, or being a super fan and getting voted out early?
Well, that's Eliza and Tez, right? Eliza is more memorable.
Eliza and Daniel.
Yeah. For Tez, at least he had those standout episodes, which we will remember, those Tez episodes. But I don't like the editors hiding us Tez for 5 episodes. Don't do that to me as a fan. I don't like it because give me something. This should never happen, ever. So, okay, another spot on this season, a black spot on it is the Tez edit, and Richard edit.
Exactly. He did have the tribal blow-ups. I mean, it's hard because obviously you're trying to edit a story, right? Obviously, Tez wasn't really a part of that story. And it seems like he was always kind of in the middle of things. So he wasn't driving the drama for or against the opposing sides and stuff, it seems like. So
immune a lot.
Yeah.
Also happens.
Yeah, he knew a lot of what's going on, 100%.
No, immune. He was immune a lot.
Oh yeah, that as well. I mean, it sucks when you lose the rewards but you win the immunities. That's like 0 screen time, period, unless you find an idol. So yeah, it sucks to have Tez go here. And then, oh my gosh, poor Usher. She was one of my few winner picks this season. It was Usher, Sally, and Simon were my top 3 winner picks. Really sad to lose Usher here. She goes out in the 10th episode, same episode that AK went out in season 2, same episode where Craig goes out in season 1. I believe the same episode where Tegan, I think, when Tegan gets taken out, I believe. No, Jackie in season 3. There's the episode where Hannah gets taken out with the double autoplay with David and Luke. It's always episode 10, everyone. That's when the big plays really start happening. And that's actually kind of where I thought Harry was actually going to go around, make a pass a swap, but it's like the big plays, like running out of steam and stuff. And so, yeah, really sad to lose Usher here. And also the Phoebe spot as well. Massive shout out to Phoebe. And yeah, I would out of everyone in the pre-merge, Usher is someone who I wanted to see for a second time the most. How about you, Cashflow?
Yeah, she was lovely, like I said. I mean, outside of the idol, I think she had a good alliance going with a clear motive on what she wanted to do if they got to merge. But unfortunately, yeah, she just got too cocky, and the person she was cocky to was a dangerous player, bro. So yeah.
Yeah. How about you, GP?
One of the most badass women of color ever seen on the show. High energy, all the way. What else do you want? She gave it all. I love you, Asha.
Yeah, no, Asha was great. And can't be a returning player obsessed and won't throw challenges anymore. Yeah. Oh, sorry, can't be returning player obsessed and won't throw challenges anymore. Yeah, I think Asha was there to play hard and to make an impact. I think she definitely did have a major impact on the game. So really happy for Asha. Then obviously we have the non-elim. Then we lose poor old Faith. Oh my gosh, we got Faith right. So we got Faith, we got Johnson, and we got Cat right. So that's technically 3 right.
Wow.
Who would have thought? 3 right out of what?
11.
Out of 11. That's pretty good if you ask me. You know, normally I'm not very right on many things, but the fact that we got 3 right, I think is pretty great. But yeah, as I mentioned before, I think Faith is a great character. You know, what I love so much about Australian Survivor is that they make these larger than life characters, right? Like, I think of George. I think George is one of the most complex characters out there for Survivor, because the first time you see him in Brains vs. Brawn, you're like, who the hell's this wacko? You know, he's like all talk and stuff, you know, but then you start to root for him because he's on the bottom and the majority in the Brains isn't that great. And then he's like running the show, so you're getting kind of annoyed at him. You want him like to go and stuff. And then in Heroes vs. Villains, you start off rooting for him and being anti-Simon. But as the season goes along, you start to root for Simon and go against George, right? It's just so interesting. And I felt with Faith, it's like she was edited in a way for us to kind of root against her. She was one of the big bad villains of the season alongside Keely. And yeah, exactly. I agree. Heroes vs. Villains too. Chuck on Faith. To be honest, any returning player season, I'd be keen to see Faith come back. Huge character, not the best player in the world, but definitely a great character. And that's kind of my thoughts on Faith. How about you, GP?
Same thing here. Faith brought it. I mean, she was scary by moments. I watched Faith on my screen. Some of these girls on this season are legit terrifying in that power female way. And are you guys checking out the editing logic chart?
Not really. I never really understood it, so no.
Well, Faith was getting the winners edit for like 8 weeks in a row, according to some chart I saw. Like, because she had this very together edit where you always, okay, we check up on Faith, Ruby Soho, all the time. It fooled me too. I thought, okay, Mark and Faith are like Final Four or something. Not at all. It was a setup for this very important episode. So I think we need to pay attention when they keep screaming a duo at us on Australian. We need to think it's a setup. Setup for a boot. More than all.
Yeah, well, I really hope Mud Survivor. Check out Mud Survivor if you haven't, guys. He does a great job making soundtracks for Australian Survivor and all the promos and stuff. But the music for the Tribe Where Faith Goes Out is just outstanding. It's dramatic, it's intense, it's over the top. It's
the drums, beautiful. It was like, what's going on? They really gave Faith quite the exit. And with the sounds of nature, with David taking a breath, and we just listen to it. Absolutely, Mucky. They're stepping it up even more.
And I think she was a good player. Mucky was just too brutally honest. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because it's just like with Mark, where it's like, yes, Mark is a good player, but this season I think that that Keely and Faith were actually running a lot of things. He was just a loudmouth behind it, if that makes sense. Like, I think if Keely and Faith went to take their shot at Mark, they would have got him, and he wouldn't be able to do anything. But just like with Usher wanting to try to give it a Brooke, the plan waited too long, and then they caught wind of it and was able to take them out before they took them out, right? So that's why you always go for the big target as soon as you can. You don't willy-wally around taking out the henchmen instead. And is it time to make a new tier list for merge? Well, I might make one tomorrow. I might do a short video. It's actually my first day off in over a week tomorrow, guys. That's part of my cheeky naughty times I'll be talking about. I'll go over all of that. And oh my gosh, sorry. I got a text message. I just lost a sports bet. Damn, I lost $5. I'm mad. Can you believe that? Lost a few
not going to make money to get tequila.
Exactly. I'm not going to get money for tequila. Anyways, but one thing we will do just before we do start to wrap things up, who do we think? So we've got Simon and runner-up. Jury duty is Mr. Bean, Brooke, Caleb, Jackson, Lottie. So we technically got that right. Pre-merge, Blanche, Cameron, Sally, Loz, Cashflow, Rich, Mark, and first boot for Keely. How wrong were we on Keely? But I want to ask you guys 2 questions. Who is most likely to make it to the end and have a shot at winning? And who is the most in danger and is likely to be voted out? I'll start off with your GP.
Okay, now I'm having a huge mega feeling about Caleb at this point. I think of the first episode where David talks to him first. We see his whole segment. And the Caleb story is building. Funny moments accumulating. If he wins, that's one of the most unique winners ever. I see Caleb at this point winning with the edit. I'm rooting for Richard for the record. I think what happens for me is Caleb wins and he beats Brooke or Richard, okay? It's a bit weird.
I don't see how anyone can beat Brooke, but I like your train of thought. Who do you think is the biggest target going into merge? Who's getting taken out?
Mark?
Well, because what we haven't talked about is that Mark has an idol.
Oh, yeah.
He's got an idol now.
Oh,
I mean, the club of players going home with idols in their pockets is pretty big for Australian survivors, and maybe Mark will be able to join that gang. But
I gotta say, they're confusing me with where they're taking Blanche, Ben, and Laws. Those 3 stories, I pay close attention when they have a confessional because it's a bit rare. So I feel like we're about to lose all the 3 of them in a father kind of way. They're just father at the merge. Maybe they're all in danger.
So Gabe here says Mark, Lottie, and Kid in trouble next week. Beauty and the Beast Alliance probably in power is the biggest alliance. Yeah, I think they're going to be the ones. I think it's going to be them versus Lottie and Caleb. I think Mark is going to attach himself to the Beauty and the Beast Alliance. There's going to be 6, and we might get a close 7-6 vote. I think Keely might even be the swing vote. I think that's how I think it's probably going to go. But how about you, Cashflow? What do you think is going to happen?
I think Mark was definitely going to be one of the people in trouble, but I think I see Simon so far with the connections he's made. He might be a winner that we didn't see coming. His edit is definitely different from how it was in the past. Brooke is a challenge beast, so she's someone that could make it to like final 5, 6 or something. And I think Cash, Flow, Rich, and Sally are in a good position where people want, because we've been seeing an edit where people like, you want to work with these people, but we'll see how they go. Blanche is in trouble, unless they use her as a number, but yeah.
Yeah, well, as Gab says here, Rich is running into Simon's arms. Yeah, he's like, hold me, bro, I survived a miracle. Who needs Macedonian Jesus when you got cash flow CEO Rich, am I right? No, but yeah, so when you break down, so pretty much the alliances going into it, right? You got the Beauty and the Beast, that's number 1. So you've got Simon, Mr. Ben, Brooke, Loz, and Jackson. That's 5, right? You've also got the 3 people that are on the outs. You've got Lottie, got Cameron, got Blanche, right? There's the 3 sort of on the outs. You've got 5 and 3. And what's so interesting about the Bounty tribe, right, is that now they're all kind of split apart because of faith, right? So you've got Sally and Keely as a duo, got Keely and Mark as a duo, and then you've got Mark and Caleb as a duo with Rich kind of adjacent to them. But Jackson doesn't like Caleb, and it seems like the Baron Alliance isn't too big fan of Caleb, so maybe will they try to take a shot at Caleb or something? I don't know. I firmly believe that Lottie is going to try work with the new Bounty to try to go against the Beauty and the Beast, but that's how I kind of see That's all got to go. And Gab says, Caleb not really with Mark, I think. Yeah, I do think they might split apart at merge. But
there was a one-time cluster of people that happened to save each other. 3 boys against 3 girls, a little bit to me.
Yeah.
Caleb comes across as someone who wants to make a name for himself, and what better way than to get rid of people that have played before. And he's been on the other tribe too, so he's one of the most connected players there.
Exactly. Anyways, this does bring us to the end of the stream, everyone. And as always, subscribe for Cheeky Naughty Times. Now, I'm going to tell you all a story, right? I've had one of the most craziest weeks you possibly can have. So, over a week ago on Friday, I landed in New Zealand at 3 a.m., right? Got home at 5 a.m., started work at 10 p.m., finished my shift at 6, and then I had this podcast at 10 p.m. as well, right? Worked the next day, 12-hour shift. Day after that, 12-hour shift. Day after that, 14-hour shift. And it just keeps on going and going and going. And we finally reached here. And I finally have a day off tomorrow. And a couple nights ago, we had Linkin Park perform in Auckland as well. Saw them for the 3rd time. I got VIP, baby. VIP tickets to see Linkin Park. And my Cheeky Naughty Time story for this week is about how badly I fumbled. All right. So at the concert, I brought my neighbor with me, right? And basically, there was this beautiful, beautiful woman who sort of joined us. Her first ever concert ever. We were down in the mosh pit, and I was sort of giving some tips, like, hey, it's a rock concert. The more in the middle and the front you are, the rougher it's going to get, right? We start chatting. Things are going great. Things are going really well. The opening act was amazing. Vana did such a great job. And then I lose her. Just completely disappears. She goes off in the distance with my neighbor because they're trying to make their way to the very front, and then she's never to be seen again. She's it's like those fairy tale stories, the one that got away, you know. And that's my very sad Cheeky Naughty Time story. She does exist, yes. She definitely does exist. I've got a selfie to prove it, but I'm not going to blast her here on the podcast. But how about you, Cashflow? What's your Cheeky Naughty Time story of the week?
Nothing too crazy. No Star Wars Force ghosts that appear and vanish. Just academics and hell.
Yeah, sick, man. How much more of your uni have you got left, bro?
Still have next year. Then out. I'm gonna get a job like you.
Well, we can't wait to work. Whoa. So sad. And GP, tell us a Cheeky Naughty story and where people can find you.
The most action happens on Instagram at Survivor Twists, on TikTok as well. Different vibe there. The fans are crazy. And on YouTube a little bit right here. Subscribe to me. Gabe Ruiz, are you subscribed to me? Which one are you? You're a total OG in the chat. Then. Cheeky Naughty Times. As I'm making more and more AI videos of contestants, I have to think of, these people are real, right? They're real people. They have. So if you make like a fake picture or even a fake drawing of somebody, right? You're using their likeliness. But now I'm like having so much fun with it, but I'm trying to find the perfect line in the middle, right? I don't want to just humiliate people, make them uncomfortable. So my Cheeky Naughty Times is like every day to find that line where I make jokes about them. Yet it's quite my channel is taking quite a turn. But the reactions, like my last videos, like Sally said, "Holy shit, it's amazing." So you know what? I'm keeping going, and I love it right now. It's going somewhere. So keep following the twists.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, make sure you do check out Survivor Twist. I haven't added it yet, but I promise I will. I'll add it to the description of the video, linked for all of your pages. Thank you so much, GP, for coming on this week and for always coming on. The thumbnails have been great. You've been doing such a great job making all the thumbnails for me when I've been really busy recently. So I appreciate you, brother, for helping out.
Yes. If someone's listening to this, you want more thumbnails, I'm practicing for portfolios, sort of thing, to help people. Even you, Rich, anyone.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that kind of wraps up the Chicken Order Time segment. The boys' night had it all except shirtless men in volleyball. Playing with them, boys. So I know the movie inside and out gay, honestly. Exactly. Let's show some skin. Here's my skin. White as day. I get sunburnt in July. That's how bloody white I am. You know, you can like I'm like the real life version of Slender Man. That's how white I am. So yeah. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching tonight's recap. I've been your host, Mucky Hope. For more memes and content, make sure you do check out our Instagram page at Mucky Hope Productions, where I post all things related to watch parties and events we might be going to, and when we're going to be doing live and upcoming videos and stuff as well. So check us out all then. I've been your host, Mucky Hope. Kakite anō. Thank you so much. I'll take the skin account. Thank you, Gabe.
Loved it.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good one. Ciao. Has it ended?
No.
It didn't end. Oh my god, I thought I tapped in.